you describe yourself as an accidental singer.
I never say no. I've never, when some creative opportunity comes, yes. I don't know how to do it. I'll figure it out. I'll learn. I'll do that. That sounds fun. I'm in. I'm all. And I started singing only because I was on stage in a play. And I was doing children's theater with a wonderful singer named Jerry John. One of the plays was about Martin Luther King Jr. and we all had to take a part and sing it. And so I sang it and he said, "You can sing." And I said, "Really?" Well, I knew I could sing in the shower, but
great acoustics.
I'm doing this little coffee house gig over at Lucy's 51 in Hollywood. And I need some backup singers. Would you be willing? And I said, "Yeah, okay." His vocal coach was there. He took me on. His name was Leonard Reed. He started mentoring me. And before I knew it, that coffee house had offered me a gig. And they said, and Claude, at this point, I did not know any song besides Summertime and Someone to Watch Over Me, right? Those are my 3 songs. They said, "We really like you. We want to give you a night. Are you free in 2 weeks? You're going to have the whole stage to yourself. Can you pack the house?" I said, "Yes." "What?" I said, "Yes." I was in my 20s. So I realized, oh my God, I have to learn some songs. So I found a piano player through my sister. She had seen him performing somewhere. His name was Steve Lockwood. I called Lockwood and I said, "My name is Laura Pursell. I just started singing and I have a gig in 2 weeks and I need help and I need someone to help me put together a show." And he said, "Well, do you know anything?" And I said, "No, nothing." Songs. So I went to his apartment and we picked out 12 tunes. Taught me how to get in, how to get out. He got me through that whole show. And at one point we were singing Nature Boy. Not a wise choice for a beginning singer. And I got lost. Trey Henry was on bass. And I am lost all of a sudden. So I just started scatting. I just shoobity-bop dop, and I got back to the one, and Steve Lockwood looked at me and he said, "You really don't know what you're doing, do you?" And I packed the house with all of my friends from the Beverly Hills Playhouse where I was studying acting.
Right.
Slam dunk night for the club, and everything just kind of mushroomed from there, but it was completely accidental. It was never meant to happen. It was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. I was out chopping cotton, and my brother was baling hay. And at dinner time, we stopped and walked back to the house to eat. And Mama hollered out the back door, "Y'all remember to wipe your feet." And then she said, "I got some news this morning from Choctaw Ridge. Today, Billie Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge." And Papa said to Mama as he passed around the black-eyed peas, "Well, Billie Joe never had a lick of sense. Pass the biscuits, please. I got 5 more acres in the lower 40 I got to plow." And Mama said it was a shame about Billie Joe anyhow.
Seems like nothing ever comes to no good up on Choctaw Ridge. And now Billie Joe McAllister's jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Brother recollected when he and Tom and Billie Joe, they put a frog down my back at the Carroll County Picture Show. And wasn't I talking to him after church last Sunday night? I'll have another piece of apple pie. You know, it don't seem right. I just saw him at the sawmill yesterday up on Choctaw Ridge. And now you tell me Billie Joe's jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Of course, I came back to Nashville and I told my dad about this. And my dad's, you know, very well-known piano player.
Right.
He decided, he said, oh my God, we have to start doing work together. I had no idea you could sing. And my father got me on stage to perform with him in front of, I don't know, 700 people, green off the turnip truck. I didn't know the sky from the hole in the ground. I didn't know where I was. He said, you can sing. I'm going to do this. This is your solo flight. I am throwing you out of the plane and you're going to fly without a net. And you're going to help me do this because I just don't want to do it by myself.
Wow.
And I got out there and I had no idea what dry mouth felt like until that moment. This huge, it's the Tennessee Performing Arts Center. It's the freaking Tennessee Performing. I had just started singing. He was either just blinded by love or stupidity, but he did that and he put me out there.
Yeah.
And I just realized, I thought, okay, I have to pretend like I'm in a coffee house. I need to pretend like I'm back at Lucy Florence on Melrose Avenue. And I'm just singing to these people right here.
Right.
Living room. And I couldn't see anybody anyway, because it was complete pitch black. I could hear them, but I couldn't. So I just pretended like I'm in a living room. This is an intimate moment. And that's how I did the whole night. And it worked.
It worked.
And I do have a snapshot of him playing and me singing Terrified with the bass player. And we got through that night. And that was the first night I realized, I can do anything. If I can do that, I can do anything. And thank you, Dad, for making me do it.
Yes. And your dad after that, like when...
He was proud. He was so proud. And he knew how terrified I was.
Yeah.
He knew it. That was special.
Yeah. Mm. The very last dance hall in LA, I love the story behind that song.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That was actually based on a real story.
Yeah.
Yes. I sang at a place called San Gennaro. It had a big dance floor. And the master of ceremonies was a gentleman named Johnny Rossini. And he would sing, he had kind of a Sinatra thing going. All these people would get up and dance. They would dance to Sinatra and to Dean Martin and to Ella Fitzgerald. And there was a couple named Roger and Mary. And Roger and Mary were in their 80s. They were there every weekend dancing. And there was a little man named Paul, and he and his wife would dance, but Paul's wife passed away. So Roger and Mary would dance, Paul would sit by himself, and then Mary would excuse her husband and she would go ask Paul to dance. So she would keep Paul occupied. And I thought, wow, this is so special. So I wrote a song about it. I brought that song to my dad, and he loved the lyrics. But then, of course, in my mind, I heard a waltz. It was like a waltz, a slow waltz. Dad put this funky, I don't know what you call that beat. It's da 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 da. And I'm like, what? That's not what I envisioned. Like, you know what? It's Dad. He's Bill Pursell. He's gonna do what he wants. I'm whatever he wants. That's great. It ended up being a really exciting track, and we made it the title track. My dad sadly passed away last September, but I'm gonna be finishing our last recording, which we had started before he died.
Is that Lilacs?
Lilacs, yes. Yeah. Wow, you have done your research. Wow, yes. My dad wrote a tune for my mom. My mother passed away from vascular dementia, which progressed to Alzheimer's. And it was so sad to see this brilliant mind just dwindle away. And my father was so upset by that and moved by it. And he wrote a song for her called Lilacs. And it's all about memories disappearing and the lights going out. And it's a beautiful tune. And we actually recorded that a year ago. I'm so glad we have that in the can.
Yeah.
The title track. And then he did arrangements for 6 or 7 more tunes, which we never were able to get into the studio to record because of COVID. Right. So I'm in the works right now. I'm working on getting that done. Without him. And it's going to be hard to do without him, because we're going to have to find probably 2 or 3 piano players to fill his shoes, depending on the tracks. It's going to be really special. And those are his last arrangements.
Yeah.
And once I get that album done, that chapter of my life is kind of finished. And then it's going to be about my stuff and what I'm working on.
Right.
My writing. I have to end this chapter in the way that I need to honor my dad. I need to finish the record. Watching my dad at the tracking room in Nashville, leading the orchestra to the very last dance hall left in LA. And watching him up there conducting the strings. And he was so proud of his work. And I was so happy that I could give that to him, that he could have that moment and we could have that together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll Be Seeing You is usually a goodbye song. And Liberace used to end off the program with. And I sort of felt, why not put it into another kind of a classification of a person who's lost somebody, and so in effect, mentally, we'll be seeing you.
In all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, children's carousel, a chestnut tree, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's lying gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
You are a Renaissance woman. You know, you're a vocalist, you are an actress, you have a play that you wrote, you're a songwriter, you know, and I'm like, okay, so, and you're a ice skater.
I'm an ice skater. How weird is that? Random. How completely random. I haven't told a lot of people this, but my plan is to compete in adult nationals as a figure skater.
Oh, really?
In Delaware in the spring, and I'm skating to my dad's music. He wrote a beautiful orchestral piece called Laura's Song, and he wrote that 25 years ago.
Wow.
And choreographed by my coach in LA, Erica Shore, and I'm working on it, and I'm gonna compete with that in the spring. And it's not even about winning anything. I just want to skate to it. I just want to put that out for Dad.
And having his music accompany you while you compete, that is going to be really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I've lost a lot of the fear that I had. Because you know how it is, I don't know if you still have your parents, but you spend a lot of your middle-aged years worrying when the phone rings, your heart skips a beat because you don't know what's coming. Everything I thought would happen happened.
Yeah.
I'm still standing. I'm still here.
Right.
There's nothing left for me to be afraid of.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna live.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. And I'm working with my band in LA with Chris Ross. He's producing a lot of my things. And we actually have a show coming up. I don't even know if you knew this. I'm coming back at Thanksgiving.
Oh,
and
cool.
I'm going to do a show at the Urban Press Winery.
Oh, cool.
It just came together a few days ago. I'm just thrilled to be able to be back with my band again after a year and a half. Yeah. It's going to be so great just to go out there and do those things that we were doing. And remember at Viva Cantina, I was kind of spreading my wings and I was doing country, jazz, rock. We were doing the band. We were doing Bob Dylan. We were doing, Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do all that stuff.
Your Christmas album?
Yes.
I actually tend to dislike Christmas songs because I always find them so sad.
Yes. Nice.
But your Christmas album, like I was gonna skip it and the first song came on and I said, wait a second.
It's a song though. Yes, we need a little Christmas.
Yes, exactly. I was like, oh my God.
I'm so proud of that CD. And I was so young when that came out. That was 21 years ago.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I was a baby. And at that point, I'd already recorded 2 other CDs, so I was feeling kind of confident, and I loved the songs. And those arrangements kick ass, don't they?
They do. It's like it's
holiday celebratory party music.
Yeah. And that
I think
it's going on my playlist. It's going on my holiday playlist.
I'm very proud of it. I think it's timeless. I really do.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of these beautiful moments with me, and your generosity.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so honored. This was really, really special. And thank you for allowing me to take a little trip down memory lane too. I thought of it a long time.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day.